I think we have Oluchun to be live, but today we're talking about buying. We're talking about voter apathy, rather. Why you think you may not vote? Some people do say they are not going to vote because they believe that the politicians are not keeping to their electoral promises and some other issues. But before then, guys, we do have Oluchun Dubezu at the INEC office to monitor the collection of the PVC. Oluchi, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon to you, Michael.
All right. I understand that you're presently at the INEC office where collection of the PVC is ongoing.
Yes, it's very ongoing, and I can see a very swift action by the INEC officials right there at Adelegu Street, number 1 Adelegu Street, precisely.
Okay, what is the situation report?
I'm here to see a number which is prepared to collect their PVCs, because I can see a whole number of PVCs lying and waiting for their owners to come and make collections of them.
Did you get to speak with any of them, Oluchi? Any of the people who have come up? Do you have any?
I met some ladies who had successfully collected their PVCs, and I have some other people who are queued and they are being attended to immediately.
Can we talk to them?
Yes, you can. You can talk to, although I'm having issues with the officials asking me to leave their office and speak to other persons.
Okay, let's talk to anybody that has successfully collected his or her PVC. Let's know what the experience was.
I think that would be an issue right now because I'm facing hostility right here by some INEC officials asking me to leave the premises.
Okay, Oluchi, can you confirm the number of people right now there who are trying to collect their PVC?
I'm seeing less than 20 persons right here about to pick their PVCs, but the collection is very swift, I can say, and the process is so quick. They come in, present their elementary voter card, that's the paper one, and then they're immediately handed over their voter card when seen.
Okay, what is the attitude of the INEC officials who are also attending to the people who are collecting their PVCs there?
Oh, they're attending to them so well. Just that I am facing hostilities by a number of them restricting me from talking to these voters who have been here to receive their voter card.
Okay.
The country demands that when you come into a place, you get permission at least.
Okay, well, we'll get back to Oluchi. Well, I think she's facing some hostility there, probably because of her permission or thereabout. But guys, that's the situation report right there from INEC office.
Well, that's what we're facing. I mean,
as journalists,
at least she's able to confirm that there are so many cards lying uncollected in just one center, and I'm very sure that if you go to other centers, you find it. In Abia State, we have 1.9 million registered voters, and you have such number. Probably in the course of build up to the election, we'll have the resident electoral commissioner confirm to us the number of persons who have been able to pick their PVCs. And if you have picked yours, or if you tried to check yours, if you are encountering any challenge, please let us know.
Exactly.
Let us know the hitches you're facing, and let's see if we can reach out to relevant authorities and then find a solution.
Okay, Nika.
Well, we are talking about the issue of apathy today.
Yes, exactly.
On the show. And, this voter apathy we're talking about, so many things, come to mind. First of all, the people will say that, what am I even going to vote for? What am I going to stand in the sun, queue up for a very long time, and at the end of the day, after casting my ballot, they think that their vote will. Then again, the politicians on their own side. You remember just recently, somebody said that the issue of trader money being done by the VP across the state is a kind of vote buying. So we are looking at that issue of vote buying. Then another form of vote buying, like yesterday when we had the meeting with interactive meeting with the INEC office officials. Yes, they talked about the issue of politicians always having sleepless night trying to strategize how to, prepare food to serve to people right there. Unit.
Inducement. It's a sort of inducement.
Of course, it's an inducement. So if all these things are beginning to play out, that's where you have this voter apathy. And I think that's why most Nigerians feel so reluctant to go and vote, because they believe that if eventually I go there to vote, one, those people that are sharing the food, maybe they've written the results, the results are there just for them. They are just wasting their precious time to do that. So all these things are the things that will cause all these voter apathy and all that.
And then Michael, just before you come in, another factor, Genika, is the security of voters even during election day. I mean, you look at a situation where some thugs would storm a polling unit, try to struggle for the ballot box. Sometimes they succeed. If they're successful, they go away with the ballot box. Your vote would never count in that instance because their intention would never be to protect your vote. The intention would be to steal your mandate, and then they come in. So what kind of security do we have around polling units? I was at a forum where the former commissioner of police in Abia State explained that, yes, you know very well, Ginika, that within that perimeter where you have the polling unit, the policemen that you find there are not armed.
Yeah, they're not.
But then there is another process whereby I think about 15 yards or away from that place, you have policemen who are armed, waiting there to respond to probably any emergency at the polling unit. Okay. But within that polling unit, the security men you find there will not be armed. Even some of them that are escorts or security aides to highly placed politicians may not be armed going to the polling unit. By the way, in the build-up to the election, maybe 24 hours, the police has confirmed that they are going to withdraw security aids attached to politicians. So there is the question of security of voters at polling units or during election. These are other factors that could lead to voter apathy.
Yeah, we are still talking about the security of voters. If you remember what happened in Ekiti and Osun State, they said the voters were intimidated heavily, by security agencies, and even some thugs who had the police cover and the other security agencies, they covered them, and they went there and perpetrated all kinds of, bad things against them.
All right, guys, it's just 6 days and 19 hours before the 2019 elections, and let me educate you a little of what you get to expect on that. Especially by 7:30 a.m., the presiding officer will cross-check the materials adequacy. But we expect that before that particular day, there should be adequate distribution of the materials by the Independent National Electoral Commission, especially getting these materials to the hinterland. It's very, very important, guys. That's another thing we should look at, transporting these election materials to the hinterland.
Well, that's another challenge that the election management authority in Nigeria is yet to solve. It's a big puzzle that they are yet to solve. But in the last election that we had in Ekiti and Osun State, I think that was a bit overcome because you find some of the routes to some of the rural areas very, very difficult. For the trucks or the vehicle conveying these materials to navigate. And some of the sensitive materials have a timeline with which it's supposed to be at a particular place. Like you're not supposed to deliver the result sheet and the ballot papers at a particular time. So we're looking at a situation whereby INEC can decentralize the location of these materials, keep the materials in some of the senatorial zones. Take for instance, Genika, materials going to Okwa or Hambele, and then all those other axes, far-flung end of Abia State leading to Rivers State, can be actually located in Aba or nearby zonal headquarters of INEC before the election day. And then those other ones close to Arochukwu, you find it maybe in Ohafia or another place. But then moving materials by 8 a.m. right here from Umuahia down to Azumini, down there close to River State, I really wonder if you would get there on time. And these are the things that would affect voting. And still talking about voter apathy again, you are looking at over-militarization of election lately, where you have maybe 20,000 policemen dispatched. I mean, these are citizens, defenseless citizens. They see these policemen with politicians and with highly placed individuals in the society, and they get scared and they won't vote again.
Yeah, we are still talking about voter apathy.
Okay.
Another factor is the issue of campaign promises being made by the politicians. Because if you come to me today to tell me that you're going to build this road, or you're going to give me a free education or free health care and all that, and after I must have voted for you, then the next 4 years, the same thing you promised me, you never fulfill them. And you come back again to tell me, please, vote for me. Vote for me that I will do the same thing I promised you, or rather you promised me some 4 years ago that you're going to do it. Those are the issue. Of course, the person will not have the mind to say, let me up and vote for this guy. So there's a need for the politicians themselves to live up to their campaign promises. If you promise anything, make sure you deliver on those promises.
And sometimes these voters do think that their vote may not count, that there is a pre-result before the result has been announced. So they do not sometimes believe in the voting process.
Yeah.
But this okay.
Now, the issue of the election observers, look at what happened just a few days ago, that the governor of Kaduna State was threatening the international election observers. What does that tell you? If the other election observers are facing this kind of threat, of course, they will not have the mind, to monitor the election. In other words, what it means is that if the people who are even monitoring the election to make sure that it remains free and fair, if they cannot be secured, if they are not safe, of course, the people who want to even come out to vote, they say, if you cannot secure these people, how am I even sure if I come to vote, I will even be safe? So these are the issues that cause
quickly, let's go straight to the phone lines. But we're live on YouTube. On YouTube page, Mr. Kind says one of the major factors we should consider in regards to the forthcoming election is on the current awareness created by a prescribed group to sit at home on the 16th of February. They should be addressed. Well, we want to know what is the situation report as it concerns your PVC. Have you gotten your PVC? How easy it was getting that particular card, your PVC? And are you going to vote? Please do not mention the name of any party. We're talking about kicking against voter apathy right here in the Situation Room. And if you think you're not going to vote, if you've made up your mind you're not going to vote, why? We want to hear from you. 0808 182 6949, 0811 605 2949. You can also drop your messages on the SMS line 0906 510 8289. It is the Situation Room right here on the floor of God's own state. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Michael.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Samson and Kineka.
Yeah, good afternoon. Welcome.
I remember one of your brothers, Mr. Shago Prince from Monaco. I think my advice goes to INEC. INEC has been telling us that they don't want to use, that they shouldn't want to use transmitting our results electronically. And they're not telling us that they're going to use car reader. I'm surprised to be hearing that most of the car readers may not be functional here in the southeast or any other part of the nation. We have advised INEC, if the car reader is not being used, let them use register direct or what we call manual voting. Instead of telling us here that they will use car readers, then believe you me, at the end of the election, you will hear different things from the north, where the car reader cannot be used. Let them make it pro rata, both in the south, both in the west, both in the north. Let them use one system. Not telling us here in the east that they will use car reader. If we go to the north, they may use ordinary register, which may be wrong towards this forthcoming election. Let INEC be open, help people, educate us on what to do. Let them not deceive us. That's my thing. May God bless in the studio.
All right, thank you very much. Let's move on. Good afternoon to you. We lost that. 0808 182 6949, 0811 605 2949, 0906 510 8289. That's the SMS line. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Michael.
Good afternoon.
Hello. Yeah, good afternoon, Samson.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. Well,
Yeah, my name is Emmanuel, but my friends just need to be the things of my place. I collected my PVC on Thursday, the day before today. And we're talking about the voter party. My own issue there is the issue of the security. That's the main issue, and that is why I want to use this opportunity to appeal to INEC and the government to provide adequate security. Because when I was collecting my PVC, one of my friends that I collected the PVC that day before today told me clearly that it's not to do that the only chance of the spirit that even this PVC is life. So that he's just collecting this thing in case of any emergency. So that's showing the kind of awareness in terms of security, the kind of security lapses we have in this country. So please, let them provide adequate security, or else you need to come back to this. Thank you very much. That's what I have to say.
All right, thank you very much for your contribution. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Michael and his crew members.
Good afternoon.
Anthony Jemba.
Please move away from your radio set. Thank you. All right.
Anthony Jemba is my name. I can't wait because if I vote now, it will be like the same 4 years ago. I voted my governor. After voting him, you cannot tell me.
Don't mention the name of any party. All right. Thank you.
All right.
Hello. You said you can't vote again.
Yes.
Why?
I can't vote again because 4 years ago I voted my he's a former governor. He cannot get enter there again.
Okay, but don't you think if you fail to vote, those who you think are wrong persons would do the choice for you? I mean, they would choose the other people for you. Why don't you change your mind? And I think it's wise you vote.
Frankly speaking, I'm highly annoyed. I think you are taking your food this morning. I didn't eat anything. How can you call me a year and 6 months now? A pensioner. You want me to vote again? Is it possible?
All right. Thank you for your contribution. That's one of the things we're saying about voter apathy.
You know,
that's a hard stance.
Of
a
course.
Very hard stance.
And I'm telling you, Michael and Samson, that about 40% of Nigerians hold this particular view. That once a politician comes to you, he will promise you heaven and earth. And as soon as he gets your mandate, he goes in there, he forgets whatever thing he has told you. Only for him to come back after 4 years, to plead for you to come and vote for him again. So these are the issues. If the politician can keep to their promises, look, I'm going to give you this, and don't make bogus promises. Just like the present federal government said, they said they were fighting corruption, security, and all. Just make it trim it down, so that if you are coming to canvass for votes in the next 4 years, you should be able to tell us what you've done based on the things you've told us that you're going to do. Of course, if you're not able to keep to that promise,
like an adage in my people usually say something that cutting your head is not the solution to headache. Exactly.
Seriously, but you look at such a hard stance and such opinion held by one of the callers here. That could justify vote buying, because if a politician can come and then promise you heaven and earth and run off, at the end of 4 years, you will reappear again. You would now think of probably collecting the peanuts he's giving to you at that moment. But I don't think it's the best solution. We have to be part of the electoral process, wholly and entire.
Do we have time to take more calls in the Situation Room? Hello. Please move away from your radio set. It is very important. All right. Thank you. Hello.
Hello. Good afternoon. The journalist of International Review.
Yeah, Vicky Moore. Good afternoon to you.
Have you collected your PVC, Vicky Moore?
I don't collect what I should.
I mean your voter card. Have you done that, Vicky Moore?
My voter card a long time, yeah. Four months ago now.
I hope you're ready to vote.
Yeah.
Are you ready to vote?
Of course, I'm ready to vote, but the problem there is that INEC is the problem. You see, like some other states. For example, Abia State 4 years ago, people voted at the end of the day. INEC denied people's mandate, and they couldn't deliver the people's choice. People was annoyed, like the last caller that called.
But I would advise him, if he said the person he voted to not pay him for 1 year, and let him go and use that the same PVC which he used to vote that person in. Vote the person out again, season 2. That's simple. Since he votes season 1, the person could not fulfill his promise. Then he have another opportunity to vote.
All right,
season
I
2,
think
which
our time is fast spent on the program.
So, then, yeah, what happened now is INEC should do the needful thing so that people will have faith in order to
All right.
vote.
Thank you very much,
Yes,
Vicky
yeah.
Moore. Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you.
That's it. How far we can go today on the in the Situation Room right here in the studios of Flow 94.9 FM. We will be back tomorrow. It's a daily program. We have just 6 days before the 2019 elections, the presidential election and the National Assembly election. Guys, thank you very much.
Yeah,
Thanks
Michael.
to Oluchun Bees right there at the INEC office, monitoring the collection of the PVC.
All right,
It's
thank
always
you.
a pleasure.
Thank you so much
Samson
for having
Eze,
me.
thank you
And
very
please do
much.
join us tomorrow. for
The
another
president is in Lagos.
Exactly. All right. My name is Michael Oni.
84 million, 4,000 and